Eurogamer's Game of the Year is Blueprints, a puzzle game that, at first glance at least, is daringly simple. Delve a little deeper, however, and you'll discover something dizzyingly complex. A puzzle box disguised as an ever-changing manor house that grows more intricate with each and every new discovery. And oh, wow, what discoveries they are, eliciting goosebumps and gasps as solutions spring forth from its very walls like only the best puzzles can. With all that said, Blueprints is also an easy game to bounce off of, due in part to its pacing in the early hours. For those of us with the patience to delve into the depths of the Mount Holly estate and uncover its mysteries, though, for those who get hooked by the secrets and the stories hidden behind its walls, it's much, much more than just a simple puzzle game. At its most basic, Blueprints is a game about exploring a house. It's not really a house though, it's actually a sprawling estate that's been left to you in your great-uncle's will. And it's not really a normal estate either. Upon entering its lobby for the very first time, you quickly discover that each time you reach a doorway, you're asked to pick from a choice of 3 rooms that could lie on the other side. Your job, it seems, is to navigate as much of this estate as you can, adding more and more rooms until you either run out of doors to open because you've accidentally created a bunch of dead ends, or you've run out of the handful of in-game resources that allow you to unlock doors, pay for special rooms, or just walk from room to room. And you're doing all of this because, while the estate seems to have 45 rooms, there is the rumour of a 46th, and finding your way into that room is the only way to properly claim your impressive inheritance. But what is inside of room 46? And what on earth is the trick to finding your way there in the first place? The estate, you see, resets every night, which is something that comes once you've run out of exploratory options and chosen to end the day. This creates a gameplay loop where you build a pathway out of random rooms, exploring as much as you can and hopefully finding some new items or rooms or lore drops, and then have to understand that, once you're out of options, you're going to be building a different layout the next time you play. This is where Blueprints picks up a bit of criticism, and it's where a lot of newcomers might nope out, because the random energy is rather strong in the early section of the game, and progress can seem a bit fruitless. Or at least it does, until you reach that first "oh wow" moment, when something clicks into place. Back to basics again. As you're moving through this estate in the early hours, you're either waiting for new rooms to show up, or you're waiting for rooms that you're really after to be added to the draft pool. Sometimes these rooms appear and you make a little more progress, or you learn a little bit more about the game, giving you the incentive to try another run so you can reach a puzzle you now know the solution to. Blueprints dislikers will tell you that these rooms don't appear enough though, and thanks to the procedural nature of the room allocations, for many runs in a row, you might not make any progress at all. But is that really true? Because a lot of Blueprints' rooms have puzzles, both explicit with pipes and valves and all of that mist jazz, and implied. No spoilers here, as this would rob you of those goosebump-granting discoveries that make this game so great, but Blueprints is actually doing something fairly daring with its randomness and repetition. It feels, at times, like it's trying to get you so bored and frustrated that your eyes go out of focus, and then the whole house becomes one of those magic eye pictures that reveals its secrets only when you're staring through it. So, as you're playing and getting the rooms you don't want, you're starting to learn what those rooms contain, and then one day, maybe bored out of your mind, you start to ponder harmonies between details in this room and that room, and then you feel the hairs on the back of your neck rise up as you realise you've just cracked a code and found your way into another level of this fiendish game. All of this is of course brilliant, and if Blueprints were merely brilliant, it would still be a Game of the Year contender. But it's way more than just brilliant. It has the kind of alien logic that powers the best Zelda puzzles, but here it's expanded across a whole shifting estate and its surroundings. It has the potential to be a game that becomes a companion to you for weeks and months. It's the type of game where you'll become obsessed with trying to unpuzzle one single element only to discover that it is a red herring. But instead of rage quitting, you push on because you're desperate for another one of those "oh wow" moments. And there are so many of them too, so many layers upon layers upon layers that even when you're thinking you've done it all, you're probably nowhere near the end. It's incredibly clever and ingenious and very much a "how did they do this" kind of thing. Blueprints is not just an astonishing puzzle game though, it's also a study in deeper, darker, more human stuff. Through the lens of its lore, Blueprints is all about absence. It's about what goes when you go and what you leave behind for the people you love. To understand the secret of Blueprints is not just to find this room or that room or solve any number of ingenious puzzles. To understand it is to put back together the world and the fears and the politics and the lived experience of the people who spent time in this place, and to try and make sense of what happened to them and why. And you do that by going through the things that they left for you and the things that they didn't realise they left for you. The wills and the letters and the cuttings and the picture postcards and also the stuff they kept locked away, the way they liked to hide or obscure things, and the stuff they possibly hoped that few people would find. All of this is bolstered by a moody, melancholic and mysterious soundtrack that plays softly in the background as you explore the estate. Piano, clarinet, synthesizers and more merging into ambient jazz compositions that are complemented by the crackling of a fireplace or a gentle gust of wind, before occasionally building in both volume and tempo when you're on the cusp of a large revelation. When you look at all of these things together, it becomes obvious why Blueprints is Eurogamer's Game of the Year for 2025. For those who go hunting for its secrets, Blueprints turns a relatively simple idea for a puzzle game into something unfathomably deep and meaningful. It offers an experience that feels fresh and enticing, even to the most jaded of gamers, and it's a reminder that, when games are as special as this one, they will utterly absorb you and leave you thinking about them long after you've switched off your console of choice. Give Blueprints a chance, push past that slow opener until you reach that first moment of realization, and it will fill you with wonder and amazement, and it will leave you with deeply personal memories of your time spent investigating Mount Holly Estate. If you enjoyed this look at Eurogamer's Game of the Year 2025, please do give it a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and with all that said and done, I'd just like to wish you a happy new year and all the best for 2026. Goodbye.